The HKSAR Chief Executives Cup is our feature race on Sunday as the season returns here in Hong Kong. And we return as well on Racing to Win. Very good to have your company. I'm Andrew Lejeune. I'm joined here in the studio by Paul Lally, our form expert, and Brett Davis as well, race caller. Brett's fresh up for the new season. What's your first up record like?
I'm normally pretty good fresh, Andrew. Yes, had a good break, as everybody probably has. The horses have had a break too. The tracks have had a break as well. They look absolutely splendid, the tracks. It's like they've just rolled out some nice fluffy green carpet. Everything is in readiness for what will be another fantastic season of racing here in Hong Kong. And we've got a good program. The numbers are a little bit light on the first day, which is often the case. Plenty of horses trialling, but still some very competitive racing. And the HKSAR Chief Executives Cup, the traditional Class 1 on opening day.
Yeah, we've got plenty to talk about as well with new trainers, new jockey as well. Paul, welcome back to you as well. I hope you had a good break and a decent jackpot to kick off the year.
Yeah, there's a bit of money floating around, so looking forward to that. There's 12.5 million in the Triple Trio. We expect it to get up to about 18 million. So plenty of money to be won on the first and opening day, and let's hope it continues throughout the season.
That'll be nice.
We'll talk about the new names on the roster throughout the course of the show, but we need to touch, Brett, on severe tropical storm Marwa, who's lurking off the coast at the moment. All things being equal, should veer off and we should be all right for Sunday's race.
Yeah, well, you know my record when it comes to talking about weather, Andrew. It's poor, and the weatherman on this occasion hopefully is poor as well. They were suggesting a few days ago it was going to be probably 50 kilometres away from Hong Kong, but it has taken a north-east direction, so it's gradually moving away. As we record this program, the T1 is up. We're hopeful the T3 won't get there. And all will be okay for the meeting. There's likely to be some thunderstorms around and a little bit of rain, so maybe have the wet weather form just off to the side. But fingers crossed, it'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, as far as the form is concerned, we're going to get into that in a moment or so. But let's just think about going forward throughout the year and some horses to follow, maybe, Paul. Yeah,
well, I'm going to start off quite early. A horse that I quite liked at the end of last season was a horse called 50-50. He had his first start, and it was an amazing effort from this horse. He was 3 wide the whole way. We'll have a look at it now, as you can see. He was like this the whole race. He drew wide. It just happened to be the way it worked out. And iVictory was the favourite on this occasion, and he came out and did win the race, but he never gave it away the whole way down the straight, 50-50. He came out of arguably the strongest maiden race in New Zealand before he got up here, and all the horses that have come out of that race have won. Some have gone on to group racing, and he won that race by 3 lengths. The trainers I spoke to down in New Zealand in the off-season said they were very pleased that he left New Zealand and went to Hong Kong. As you can see, never gave it away and hit the line really strongly indeed. It's drawn barrier 2 on the opening day, so let's get the money early.
Yeah, well, there's the real positive, isn't there, from Paul? This horse is running on opening day and has drawn well.
And Brett, you've gone a little bit darker with yours.
Yeah, mine you'll have to just sort of put him in the fridge for the moment because he won't race for some time. Not sure how long it'll be, but he's an ISG. We know that the ISGs do great things here in Hong Kong. 2 trials at the back end of last season. He's a 3-year-old ISG by Dark Angel with Richard Gibson. There he is, the little grey fellow, just at the back there. Just going along nicely. I like his action. He's not overly big, but Richard Gibson is just educating him gradually, and very quiet there from Chad Schofield final stages. I think when it comes race day and they ask this young fellow to let down and show us what he's got, I'm pretty confident there'll be something there. All
right, excellent. I recorded a pre-season special with Zach Pert and Graham Cunningham. Talk about a horse called Lucky Time, and have a listen to that if you can, because Zach rode him in his only start last year and gives a bit of insight into that. You'll find that on the website. Now, as we press on to the programme on Sunday and the horses that won't be going round, we've got 3 at this stage. Fortune Giggles in the second event withdrawn. Celestial Arrow is out of race number 6, and then Fantastic Kaka out of race number 10. One of those Danny Shums runners. We've still got 16 runners on Sunday. Incredible lineup. As we move on to the first of 10 races then, and the opening event is a Class 4 contest. It's over the 1,000 metres. We're on the B course to kick off the year, headed by 3 newcomers, Lucky Lucky, My Honey and Top Beautiful for Shum Ferraris and Chris So. Those are the debutantes. Multi Go-Go gets the blinkers on for the first time. Peace Combination, 3rd course and distance on his last start here last season. Tommy Berry, welcome Tommy. He rides Sharp Mind in the opener, and down to Brave Knight, had excuses on his final start. That's behind Encore Boy at huge odds.
Yeah, we kick off the season with a 1,000-metre race, and good to fast is the expected tempo. Win for Patrol and Old Timers always had good pace. Peace Combination likewise. Multi Go-Go has blinkers for the first time. He trialled brilliantly recently, but only with the hood on. Lucky looks a real natural runner. I wouldn't expect him to be too far away. So the pace looks to be quite solid, as it often is over 1,000.
Yeah, look, here's Lucky. Now, here's a horse that's showing a lot in his trials. He's working with a horse called Household King. Household King will start favourite in his particular race. So I thought it was a really good piece of work here. Nash Ruler aboard, and we welcome back Nash. Now, the other horse here is Top Beautiful. He's the other first starter. I just thought I'd show you because he's a big horse. He's the one here closest to us, working with Everest there, who's another one to be running on later in the day as well. And you always got to take notice when Joe Moreira and Chris So team up. He might need further, but he's a big beast of a horse. I think he'll run okay.
12.53 he weighs in it for his first run. As far as the key races are concerned, we'll start off with Win for Patrol. 50% win and play strike rate, course and distance. This is him on his last start at the end of last year. Yeah,
he's an old timer now, an 8-year-old. He's down to a rating of 43. Got a couple of pounds relief in the off season, but you can see here he's under severe pressure, and this has been him. He's pretty much a one-trick pony. He's a jump and run. So you sort of got the old taking on the young here, and he's in the older category. He's going to cop that pressure. I think Richard's got him going okay, but I just think he might be a bit vulnerable when the whips are cracking.
Yeah, I agree. He's drawn one as well, which won't help him. And
no.
I had a look at this. He hasn't won since 2014. Yeah. You wouldn't have thought that because he's quite a consistent horse.
He is.
As an 8-year-old, you know, it's hard to tip him on.
He is very well rated, but he's only won twice and he's had plenty of starts.
Yeah. All right. Well, the trials are going to be very important coming into this opening day. Multi Go-Go, well, he really put a marker down here, didn't he?
He did, and from day one, he's often showed, or has showed, that he's a horse that's got some ability, there's no doubt, but he's been a little bit precious if you go back and look at some of his replays where he's got involved in a bit of congestion during the race and he hasn't coped with it all that well. We've seen him trial like this previously and look a real $1 million horse, and he's done that again here. Now, this trial was on the all-weather, straight 1,000 metres. You're going to have horses like Win for Patrol upside him, Peace Combination as well. If he copes with all that okay, which I think he will because he's got those blinkers on to just sort of keep him focused on what he's doing and not what everything else is doing, I'd expect a big run from him.
He has improved with the blinkers. I'll definitely say that. I've noticed it. I know what you mean. He's been a bit precious last season and he's gone out favourite a few times as well. But he has improved with those blinkers, so I think he's one to keep an eye on.
All right, see if experience counts as well. You touched, Paul, on Nash Willer return. Of course, we missed the end of last season with that dreadful injury. He's back, though, and he's riding Lucky. Here he is with Ed Sadler.
Nash, Lucky runs on Sunday. You've had a bit to do with this horse. How's his preparation been?
Faultless, yeah. Look, I sort of started riding him very early on when I got back on around the 1st of August, and I really liked the horse straight away. Danny sort of gave me a bit of a heads up. He's a nice horse, and he's just, you know, been able to sort of come into this first up race with a faultless preparation and going very well.
You rode him in a trial last week. He was up on the speed. On Sunday, though, there looks to be good pace in that race. Is he versatile, do you think?
Yeah, look, there's a few sort of older horses that have always been real blistering early down the 1,000-metre straight there. So, look, it'll be a real test for him. 2 gates, probably not too big a concern for me, I don't think, unless track bias changes that. But I think the track should race fairly even. So, you know, give him his chance to have a little bit of room there somewhere. And if they are too quick for him, he can sort of have the last shot.
Sunday's your first meeting back since your injury. Just can you tell us about the injury and your recovery process?
Look, it was a long sort of drawn-out injury, but I've sort of done the right thing, given it the time, and put in the hard work with it. And I should have a uninterrupted, hopefully, rest of the season now, because last season I had a terrific start, and it's just unfortunate. I kept sort of running into trouble and slowing my momentum, but if we can keep the ball rolling this year, I'm really looking forward to a good season. Sunday can't come quick enough then? Yeah, well, that's for sure. It's, I think it's the longest I've ever spent out of the saddle in my life. So, I'm really hungry to get back and look forward to the future of Hong Kong racing. It's good.
Faultless preparation, he says. Paul, he's our early favourite. Where does he figure for you?
On top, I think he's the bet in this particular race. What he's shown, I think he can be better. He's way ahead of the handicapper, I think, in the ratings. He's on top. We'll give Top Beautiful. I'm going to keep him safe because I'm worried about the combination there of Chris So and Joe Moreira. Multi Go-Go with the blinkers on. And Peace Combination has got a good fresh-up record, and he'll get the £7 claim from Matthew Poon. 1-3-5-7, but the bet for me would be Lucky Lucky.
Yep, I'm with you, Paul. I think Lucky straight out here in the first. He's a first starter, which is always a little bit of a concern, but the horse and jockey have both had faultless preparations. Nash has been working very hard to get right for the first day of the season. I think he'll be rewarded here. Top Beautiful's a nice type of horse, but I think he might want a fraction further. He's got plenty of ability. Multi Go-Go looks like he's come on a fair bit. He'll be very competitive. Peace Combination, 1, 3, 5 and 7. Shazam.
All right, well, there we go. My top 4 selections will be on Trackside Live on Sunday, but I will be taking on the favourite.